firstly, the sanctions should never have been put on Kosovo in the first place. And I'd also like to point out, they're called negative measures, which meant that it didn't require vast votes by the EU. When Vučić announced 2 days of mourning for the terrorists who came into Kosovo and murdered someone, there should have been immediate negative measures put in place by the EU. They didn't need a vote on it. The reality is September 24th does change things, but so did the actions in May, so did the actions in the months that lead up to it. Lajčák was suggesting that the political dialogue, that nothing changes. But that's not the reality, because you have to have security to be able to have political dialogue. So yes, Kosovo will still need to meet its international obligations and the commitments it has made, but it needs to be done in a climate of truth and honesty and transparency. And that's why, for me, I would like to see the conclusion of international investigation before the political dialogue moves any further.
But at the same time, Kosovo is where it is right now. I'm wondering whether UK has applied any measures for Kosovo since EU and US have. Has UK done it?
So the UK has not in any way placed restrictions on Kosovo. What we did do in contrast was after the 24th of September, we deployed the Princess of Wales Regiment. Some of them were on the plane with me when I came here to Kosovo. I'm very proud that the speed at which the UK responded, we didn't wait a few weeks. I think it was something like 48 hours, 72 hours, and we responded by providing additional forces to protect the borders of Kosovo. That is our duty. It is our duty as Britain to ensure not just the survival of Kosovo, but the success of Kosovo. And deploying those troops is one meaningful step to show that we are committed to that.
So Kosovars see your vocal voice speaking out for them to the point that we haven't seen any woman politician doing since Madeleine Albright time. We've got additional British troops coming, but how come UK isn't playing a more significant role in the dialogue itself, in the political process? Why is that so?
So I think there are options that are available to a country when you see talks such as those that took place at the weekend. You can either be in the room and you can try and shape those outcomes, or you can choose not to be in the room and to try and shape what happens thereafter. My argument to the British government, since I'm not a member of the government, but the decision was made not to participate in those talks, is that now I expect to hear the British voice very clearly. I expect to hear the British voice very loudly, and I expect us to make clear as an outside voice where we have disagreement with the EU and the US on their approach, where we don't agree that what they are doing is right. So
when you say you expect,
yes.
Is that going to happen? What does UK need to do for that to happen?
So that doesn't sit with me as a decision. The Foreign Secretary and his team, and obviously working with our ambassador here, they need to decide that Britain has decided that we are going to be a counterpoint voice. We challenge our friends where we think they're not getting things right, and we will support the EU and the US where we think they're getting things where they are getting things right. That counterpoint voice matters because Kosovo needs to have more voices that are independent. Because when you have mass agreement from one institution, which is what the US and the EU have become, you don't always end up with the best outcomes. So we need multiple voices providing different counterpoints so that we get to the best solution for all of the Balkans.